What's up, guys? Welcome back to a new video here. So, in a sea of bad news, we actually have potentially good news coming out of the Middle East and the Gaza Strip. It seems as though for the first time, the war is on the verge of ending, perhaps. Again, I say that in quotes. We have no idea yet what this means and what this entails, but it seems as though by the end of the week, maybe even as soon as today, we could see a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip that results in the release of hostages and the subsequent end of the war in the Gaza Strip. So again, this is all up in the air. Again, it's not nothing is confirmed yet, but according to multiple Israeli and Palestinian sources, this is coming and is coming soon. And again, there's a lot going on here, just to be clear. There's a lot of Israelis, hardline Israelis, who are actually not thrilled about this because, of course, they want to keep going. They want to keep destroying the Gaza Strip, and you know what they want. You know what the hardline Israelis want. So a lot of them are not thrilled about this. But in Israel themselves, guys, most people support a ceasefire because they want to release the hostages, which is one of the reasons why domestically the Netanyahu government is not necessarily extremely popular. As far as the Palestinians go, Trump, again, we talked about this, guys. Trump has made significant threats saying if the hostages are not released by January 20th, I forgot exactly the quote he said, but it was something ridiculous. Like, whoa, we're going to lay ravage the Gaza Strip as if it hasn't been ravaged already. But that's what Trump said himself, which is wild that he said that. But so those threats could have a role. And something super interesting, guys. And by the way, make sure to like and subscribe. Super good for the algorithm, and Amazon products I use in the description. It helps the channel out immensely. So thank you guys so much for watching. We continue to grow at a really good pace. Okay. And this also comes at a time, guys, where interestingly enough, Donald Trump actually shared on Truth Social a video of Jeffrey Sachs, who is he's some academic. He's very out there, to say the least. Very, as far as this story goes, very anti-Israel for the most part, extremely critical of Netanyahu. And Trump shared a video of this guy, Jeffrey Sachs, basically destroying Netanyahu, saying he just wants to pull the Middle East into another war. And he said this, which is again incredibly wild that Trump would repost this himself, reposting the Prime Minister of Israel, basically claiming that he just wants to drag the U.S. into a war. And this is wild for a number of reasons, guys, because of course Trump is very, very supportive of Israel. There's no question where his loyalties lie on that front. But the fact that he would post something like this, basically destroying Netanyahu, is extremely interesting and telling. And I think this bodes not so well for Netanyahu, and I think it could be a way of Trump looking to apply pressure on Israel to accept this deal. I think there's no question about that. Again, there's a lot going on here. Again, even if a ceasefire and the war is quote unquote over in the Gaza Strip, that still does not mean anything on the Iran front. It could be that the Israelis see an opportunity to end the war in the Gaza Strip and then set their sights on Iran. Because we've talked about this before, that the Trump administration wants to go after Iran. Netanyahu certainly wants to go after. Okay, sorry, we had the camera go out there for a second. But as I was saying, guys, Netanyahu certainly wants to go after Iran. Trump wants to go after Iran, it seems. So I think even if there is a ceasefire reached in the Gaza Strip, this does not mean anything in terms of the Iran front and that conflict whatsoever. I think we could actually see an escalation in that front as soon as a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip is reached. And this comes at a time, guys, where we're actually seeing an increase in airstrikes in Lebanon from the Israeli Defense Forces against Hezbollah targets. So again, even if the war in the Gaza Strip ends, that does not mean for a second that the entire conflict as a whole is over. In fact, it could just be a new phase, which is key. But again, the fact that Trump is retweeting this anti-Netanyahu stuff out there and putting it out there, super interesting and a change from what you would expect, especially because many of Trump's donors, Miriam Edelson, for example, massive supporter of Israel. So the fact that Trump is criticizing Israel's leader is super interesting. So again, wild stuff. I mean, the best thing we can hope for is that there is some sort of ceasefire and, the Palestinian people get some sort of peace for a little while, because it is truly insane the amount of destruction we've seen, especially in the Gaza Strip. So just wild stuff going on in the world right now. Hopefully we can get peace sooner rather than later, but it's going to be interesting to see how the next few days roll out, especially with Trump's inauguration on January 20th, guys, which we will give you full coverage of. So again, make sure to like and subscribe. Super good for the algorithm. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.